Welcome back, everyone. Hall 7, at it again. All the way from Hall 17, all the way from Waterloo via Hall 17. We've got Greta Cutulenco, Acerta Analytics Solutions. If you want to learn more about what Acerta does, listen to our podcast, Making It in Ontario. Last week, Greta came on, told us a bit about Acerta, and our friend Martin of Linamar, and they're going to tell you a bit about Linamar's collab with Acerta. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. So today we'll talk about AI application in manufacturing, and especially how between ourselves and some of our AI solutions for quality, we're integrating with Linamar and supporting their journey of digitalization.
Linamar is a company that is not very known in Germany. Worldwide, we have something like 33,000 people employed. In Germany, 2,200. Linamar is a little bit diversified. Mainly, we are in the automotive sector, of course. Then we have, with our brand Skyjack, working platform. They are situated in Guelph in Canada. But of course, you can purchase one here in Germany or in Europe as well. Just our booth is just around the corner, so you feel free to ask for it. Then we have our agriculture business, consisting of MacDon, Salford, and Bourgois. And then there's MedTech at Linamar as well. This slide visualizes how we are situated across the globe. Of course, Linamar, as a Canadian company, has a majority of the plants in Canada. So we see 29 in Canada, couple of in the United States and Mexico, all over Europe, India, and China. So including our sales and R&D network, we can say that we are active across the globe. Coming back to the topic, AI and data evaluation. On this slide, we see our what we call digitization journey. So at Linamar, we understood early that data collection, uniform data collection, is something like a key point that we could benefit compared to our competitors, if we want to say so. So from today's point of view, these numbers apply when it comes to digitalization. So we have 75 plants in total across the world. And LMMS, our Linamar Manufacturing Monitoring System, is now connected to 5,615 data connection points, 4,000 robots, RFID station, etc. pp. Of course, LMMS, which was implemented in 2011, was sooner or later needed to be updated to LMES, Linamar Manufacturing Execution System. So the key difference between LMMS and LMES is basically that LMES provides a data line back to the machines. That means we do not only record PLC data, we can record as well in-process measurement data and such. And this is, of course, a big advantage when it comes to quality control, quality assurance. And of course, this enables Acerta to directly to plug into our LMES system and do fancy things with our data.
Talking about Acerta and why this collaboration makes sense. So historically and to date, Acerta has been deployed across 12 countries and in over 300 production lines globally to help manufacturers leverage the growing amount of data that's starting to become available from production facilities. That includes the machines themselves, process data, test data, basically all of the digital information that's available about the products being produced, and really deploy a scalable solution that's able to integrate with digital platforms like LMES, as well as others, to aggregate all of that data in real time and process it continuously to drive impact in production. And already today, we're servicing and analyzing over 20 million events every single day continuously. So To date, and before starting the collaboration with Linamar, Acerta's created a platform called LinePulse, which leverages all of the data from production and applies AI and machine learning technology to create early indications of quality issues, identify areas of efficiency improvements, and really help impact manufacturing through the data to help increase throughput, decrease scrap, rework, and other quality related issues, and really move the manufacturers in a direction where instead of leveraging just engineering opinions to make decision, we can leverage data to make those decisions. So out of the box, we already provided certain capabilities, but through the last year and a half in collaboration with Linamar, we not only started to integrate out of the box with the Linamar system, but really are working with the engineers on the production floor to create impactful solutions that impact capability of the quality and process engineers on the line, whether it is to do root cause analysis automatically through the data or provide early indications of quality issues upstream across the supply chain. And especially since Linamar has also vertical supply chains within the organization, it creates a very powerful solution that we've then been collaborating and building up together.
This basically shows the basic structure of LMES. We basically see that we have industrial machines like we have everywhere standing around in our plants. So CNC machines create data based on sensors, and what we call edge devices. Edge devices capture data. Edge devices means every end station where data is created, and this data is being integrated into LMES. LMES, based on automated process controls, can have a feedback line into the machine, and in parallel, we can feed this line into LinePulse.
So the one great element about the fact that we've been collaborating so closely together is we can out of the box integrate with both LMMS and LMES capabilities. So many manufacturers today experience challenges where because of the diverse set of technologies being deployed across the whole manufacturing footprint. So just imagine 75 facilities across Linamar, if each had their own system, it creates a very tough situation to really have a consistent data strategy for the company. But because of the prudent decision in creating LMES and LMMS, there's a consistent strategy for leveraging data and getting digital information across the production floor at Linamar. In this collaboration, we've been able to, out of the box, integrate with the LMES system. That means any new location where Linamar activates and deploys LMES on a new line or an existing line, they can, out of the box, have access to the LinePulse platform, where we can ingest data from across the assembly process, across the machining process, NVH data, basically any form of information about the product and what's impacting the production of the product. And then from that point, we create out-of-the-box machine learning and AI-driven analysis to help with quality resolution and quality prediction for production. And so where LMES directly integrates and automates some of the process, we then further, in collaboration with the process and line engineers, can leverage that to provide an additional layer of recommendations of how to optimize production within that production facility or a production line. And altogether, this creates a holistic solution and a strong digital strategy for Linamar as they put in place new production and optimize existing production across their footprint. So talking about the goals and what we aim to accomplish and what we've been able to show so far. So one of the major motivations for Linamar to implement this technology has been to accelerate and de-risk ramp up a new production lines, especially in the EV space, where Linamar right now is doing a lot of work with e-axles and other new product lines that they're launching. And as everybody in the manufacturing sphere knows, ramping up new production is always there's lots of issues that could go wrong that could delay your ramp up, delay production, and have really high quality issues right up front. And so today, one of our pilots that we've been running with Linamar is in the Camcor facility down in Guelph, where a new e-axle production line is being ramped up as we speak, and LinePulse is integrated with LMES directly into that line to support the program managers and the quality and process engineers to achieve ramp performance in just a fraction of the time and really de-risk those potential millions of dollars that are typically lost during a new line launch. But of course, new lines is just one of the areas where we're looking to drive impact. Existing lines are also quite present across Linamar. And so looking at existing production and driving efficiency improvements is another area where we've been focusing a lot, where we can optimize things like scrap, increase throughput, reduce rework, and really improve the performance and the speed and save time for engineers that are running those lines. So from that perspective, we've already been working at the Spinnick facility as an example with their team over the last half a year at this point, really leveraging our root cause capability and predictive capability to help them increase throughput by dealing with a really nasty issue that they've been facing in their decludge assembly. And so from that perspective, the solution is not just able to ramp up the new lines, but also drive efficiency improvements in existing lines through data and really create capabilities that those engineers didn't have access to in the past. All in all, as we mentioned earlier, because of the architecture we're putting in place, the solution is extremely scalable. So already as part of this year's piloting, we're getting into 6 different production facilities without any extra custom integration work that would be required as those systems are going into place, which is really huge, especially as we think about getting the system out across over 75 facilities and new programs that Linamar plans to launch over its existence or in the future. And lastly, I think the big impact of this project has been really enabling the workforce across Linamar with AI. And specifically now as more optimization is being brought into manufacturing and a lot of turnover happens on the production floor, any solutions that can support the line engineers and the operators in making faster decisions and ramping up faster in terms of them being able to understand what's happening in production is really impactful. And so with Linamar, we're working hand in hand in helping the engineers learn these new technologies, but not from a perspective of becoming data scientists, but from a perspective of giving them AI capabilities through the lens of an engineer and more engineering-friendly solutions. So from that perspective, it's also been a major impact and a focus area for us as we've been collaborating together.
Couple of additional statements for Linamar. We, as a collaborator with Acerta, do of course see the need for deep data analysis. We at Linamar understand ourselves as a data-driven company. This goes in the end back to our founder, Mr. Frank Hasenfeld, who was often quoted with lines like, "You can't improve yourself if you don't measure." In this way or slightly different, the exact quotation goes down in the rumors of history. But in the end, he's right. I mean, there's no superior argument in any discussion that you can have than pure data. And data connected with AI capabilities puts us in the driver's seat to have exciting challenges and opportunities to learn from our data and improve ourselves to be ahead of our opponents to the benefit of all customers and stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and happy to take questions.